Dear students, very good afternoon to all of you. So let us discuss the exercise in the chapter more about prepositions. Prepositions you have read earlier. We have discussed it thoroughly, and I had shown you how to do it, when to do it, or what are the criteria that you have to consider before you put the preposition in a particular position. That were discussed thoroughly earlier I think, and I had also provided you some pictures, some graphic notes regarding the position of prepositions and how you have to determine it according to the subject or the object which you are going to mention here in respect to other objects, because that is the job of the preposition actually, to make a relation with that particular noun with other words. I mean, what is the relation there? Is it before it or behind it or beside it, like that? So here the first question, as you can see here, it was written that she is sitting in the garden. Yes, of course, it is a garden. Garden is an enclosed place. So because it is an enclosed place and you are there inside it, it is better you should write there in the garden. Sometimes what happens, the thing we make mistake is that on the chair or in the chair, we don't know what to do and when to do. Remember one thing, if the chair has some arms, I mean handles where you can put your arms, you can rest your arms, you are sitting that chair, then it will be in the chair, because arms are there, it's an enclosed like kind of space, and there you are sitting inside it, that is in the chair. And on the chair means the chair like dining chair, without arm. Excellent. Without arm, there you are sitting on the surface. আমি পেয়েছি, এরা পাইনি. They are sitting on the surface. So because they are sitting on the surface, we are calling it on the chair, sitting on the chair. So those chairs having no arms, you are sitting on the chair. Chairs having arms, you are sitting in the chair. Next one is, I saw the cat run into the kitchen. Yes, of course, because it is a movement, and movement means from one space to another place. That is a movement from outside to inside. So this movement is called into. Whenever to will be attached, it will always denote movement, from and to, into, on to, like that. We set out this morning at 6 o'clock. Yes, of course, at 6 o'clock. When there is a particular time is mentioned, what is the clock? I mean, it is 6 o'clock or 6:30 or 6:15, whatever it is. Then you have to use at 6 o'clock. After that, there is, she dived into the river. Yes, of course, because why are you diving into? Because you are on the surface, air, you are on the land, now you are jumping into the river, because once you jump, you won't float. You will get into it, inside the water, then you will again come to the surface. So because your movement is from outside to inside of the water, and that is why we can call it into, dived into the river. But I sat on the bank. Yes, of course, on the bank. River is there flowing, above it there is the bank, and there you are sitting on a particular still position. That's why you are sitting on the bank. Then it is, she lives at 26 Nehru Nagar. This is the place where, this is the address of your home, and it is situated in South Delhi. This is the larger area and that address is smaller. That's why it's at 26th Nehru Nagar in South Delhi. Then comes, your books are on the top shelf. Tell me, your books are on the top shelf. Of course, top shelf is there, and on it, because books are placed on the shelf, because the books are touching the upper surface of the shelf and nothing else. That's why it is on the shelf. Open your book at page 112. Why at? Because this is the particular place where you have to open, which you have to open and you have to concentrate on. That's why it is called at page 112. Then comes, the cat sprang upon the table. Yes, of course, because it is on the surface of the table, and again your movement is from outside to on the surface. That's why it is up on, like you are putting colors upon the walls, like that. Okay. This is called upon. So the cat sprang upon the table. Then comes part 2. Part 2 is that I have not seen her for a long time. See, for a long time. Why? I have not seen her for a long time. Means it's been some time that you did not see her. I have been ill since last night. Why since last night? Because how much hours? Sorry, how many hours you have been ill? This is not cleared. So because it is not cleared and it is a period of time, this is not a point of time, that is why we can call it since last night, because how many hours it is not cleared. Once there is a point of time like 2 hours, 3 hours, 11 hours, 12 hours, then you can say for. Because time is not mentioned and only during. It's a duration of time, it's a period of time, you have to write there since. Then comes I have been in this office for 6 years. Yes, of course. Here you see 6 years, the particular years, how many years are there. It's a point of time which is mentioned here. How many years are there? 6 years. 6 years, 5 years, 2 years, 7 years. It's like that. Okay, had there been like I have I have been in this office since 2010. Means it's not clear how many years you are working there. It's only stated that you have been there since 2010. Which year is right now? It is not mentioned. So this is a duration of time, this is a period of time. That's why we have to write there since. But while it is mentioned that it is 6 years, 7 years, 2 years, 1 year, that's why we are mentioning it for, because it's a point of time. 10 years have been passed since my brother died. So since my brother died means your brother died at particular time, and after that 10 years have been passed. But this is a duration of time, this is a period of time. So because duration is mentioned here, you have to write there since. You cannot put here for, you have to write there since. Then the next one, she walked hard from morning till night. Yes, of course, this is from morning till night, from morn to dusk, like that we have written earlier. Then comes I shall walk in the right earnest from tomorrow. Exactly. So from tomorrow onwards, this means that from tomorrow onwards you will start working properly. So it will begin tomorrow and then it will continue for certain period. This period is not mentioned for indefinite time. So from tomorrow onwards you are going to read better because you have your exams like that. Then come to the part 3. It is she came and sat beside her husband. Yes. She came and sat beside her husband. Her husband was sitting there and beside him she sat. Then besides means what? In spite of. Means something you have. And again there are some superfluity. Some superfluous things are there. You have some more than you need. Then it is besides. So besides being fined, because already he has been fined. So even after that something else was done. What was it? He was sent to prison. So he was fined and he was sent to prison. 2 things are there that you have to keep in your mind. He was fined and he was sent to prison. So 2 things have been done here. 1, he was fined, and not only that, he was also sent to prison. So this is why we are writing here besides. Then comes what do you get besides your pay? So you are paying, you are getting paid, and still you have some other source of income. So some more is there than what is necessary. That's why I'm writing here besides your pay. She walked beside her mother. Here only beside, because it is a position. Only beside means this denotes position. Besides means something is there which is more than you should need, which is more than what is needed. That you have to remember. Part 4, there is no quarrel between you and me. Only 2 persons or 2 groups. There you have to write between. More than 2 or any other thing, then you have to write among. Rajputs means there are several persons, more than 2, always quarreled among themselves. That's why I have written there among. Let us divide the money between us two. Between us two. Why us? Because between you and me. That's why it is us. So there are 2 persons. That's why I'm writing here between. Then there is honor among thieves, because this is not one thief which is mentioned here. Here thieves are told. Thieves means more than 1 thief, means more than 2 thieves, means 3, 4, 5, 6, like that. That's why it is written among. Then exercise 2 was there, where it was said that he has been living here for a long time. Yes, for a long time. How much time, it is not clear. It has been raining since yesterday. The Shatabdi Express leaves at 12 noon for Mumbai. At 12 noon for Mumbai, it is time. You have to write at with time, date and day. Time, date and day. You have to write at. Year, in. Place depends, but most of the time in. If it is situated somewhere else, then at after that main place is in, like that. At Kanla in West Bengal, like that. The soldiers marched into the house. Yes, of course, they were marching outside. From outside, they came into the house. So there is a movement which is mentioned here. So I'm writing here into. Distribute the mangoes among the students, because there are not only 2 students who are standing. There are so many students. Okay, thank you very much, students. That's all for today. We have meeting. We will continue later. Thank you very much.